Hello everybody, welcome to part 2 of my little mouse snow globe card. Part 1 I showed you how to tie a ribbon around, or a little bow around your card, and how to make this homemade button. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and watch part 1. So here's my completed button. I love it. So cute and so thin. And I've got some of this American Crafts twine that I found. It's hemp, but it's really nice and thin. I found this at Marshall's. So I was just at Marshall's yesterday and I saw my Marshall's still has it. So anyway, I'm going to pull it through. I like it because the hole is big enough to get this through. And I'm just going to tie a little bow. Now on my original card I used a bigger piece of hemp, red hemp that I got at Hobby Lobby, but it's really thick. You have to take it apart and use only one strand. So I used this time, but you can use whatever you like. I love this red and brown and love that look. Okay, and now we're going to attach it to our little card base here. I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. Now what I'm going to use is a homemade glue dot. If you've never made your own glue dots, you can do it. Okay, this is parchment paper. Wax paper does not work, so don't even try it because I've already done that and it doesn't work. So what you want is Aleene's Tack It Over and Over glue. And look at this, see if I can find the bottle so you can see what it looks like. Here it is. It's this Aleene's Tack It Over and Over. And you just take a piece of parchment paper and you make some dots and then you let it dry overnight, depending on where you live and your humidity and all of that. And just put it somewhere where nobody's going to stick their hand in it, because that's happened at our house as well. My husband felt like a big mouse because he got trapped in the sticky goo. But yeah, so put it someplace where nobody, your cat, your dog, your kids, your husband won't get trapped. And I just, like traditional glue dots, can stick it down. Okay, and so there you have it. Now let's do the rest of the card. Trying to see if I can push it down more. Okay, alrighty. Now for the rest of my card, I've got the globe that I also cut out at 5 1/4, and I am going to stamp my little mouse in VersaFine Vintage Sepia. This is great if you're going to do a watercolor technique like I'm going to do, because it won't run. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it about right here. I didn't tell you what I did here. This is just a sticky note, and I made a little snow bank type thing there. And so I'll put that back on there in a moment. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp him here. Okay, and then I'm going to take and put my little snowbank there. I want him to appear to be standing on it, so I'm going to go over his little feet. Okay, and then I'm going to mask him using a little, again, from sticky note paper. I stamped him up close to where the sticky part is so that I could mask him. Okay. And Inkadinkado does sell some masking paper, but I don't have any. I wish they sold it in the store, because I'd like to buy it, but I don't like to pay shipping, so kind of funny that way. Alright, now I've got this awesome background stamp from Hero Arts. I got this last year from Michael's. I unmounted it from the wood and put the cling mount, but we're not even going to need the cling mount right now. All I'm going to do is take the tumbled glass Distress ink And if you're new to me, I love making backgrounds. And And so what we're doing is just adding that ink there. I'm going to take a little bit of water, just mist it, and then you just take your paper, whatever you're stamping, and just put it down, face down, and just press, massage, give it a nice massage. Okay, lift it up, move that out of the way. And then let's take our little mouse out, and then you can see that it looks like the snow is falling all around him. And then with my little homemade distress tool, this is just an old block because I like to unmount my wooden stamps. I put a little piece of Velcro, and that way I have my own distress tool. And so now I'm just going to go around and just make a little mound here. Go all around the edges. And we are going to add some faux stitching. And again, how much distress ink you add is all up to you. We'll take this off, and you see we have a little snow mound. Then I have a, let's see, what is this? Vintage Photo distress marker, and I want to use the fine tip side. And we're going to go ahead and add faux stitching all the way around. And I like this Vintage Photo marker. I think it matches very nicely with that VersaFine vintage, what's it called? Vintage Sepia. And I'm just going to go all the way around, as close to the edge as I can. Am I in frame? Yes, I am. Okay. I need one of those cameras that have the screen that flip to your view so you can see what you're doing while you're filming. I mean, I don't need, I should say, I want. I like my flip camera though. Okay, so there we go. And then we're going to add it to our little card base here. And the last thing we always want to do, well, last thing I always want to do is if I'm going to add glossy accents or any other kind of detail, stickles, anything like that, I always do it at the very, 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 very end, because otherwise I stick my finger in it, I mess it up. Okay, now, I didn't do this on camera, but I stamped my little mouse on the same red paper. It's kind of a shimmery paper. I did this off camera, and I stamped him with Versamark ink, and I heat embossed him, and I cut out his boots or his little shoes here and his little hat so that I could paper piece him in that way. His little shirt is very difficult to paper piece because it has little tassels and things like that, so that I couldn't do. I'm just going to use my two-way glue pen here to attach his little hat. And I like it because it's glossy. It's so cute. And then I did his little shoes. And this paper, this glossy, this shimmery paper, I should say, is from Michael's Recollections paper. And you could do it out of pattern paper, whatever you like. Okay. And so then he has some stripes, and he has a little pom-pom on his hat. So I'm using the crystal here. for his pom-pom and his little stripes on his shirt. So festive. Okay, and then I added it to the snow mound as well. So be careful here. Now you could do it, you know, ahead of time and let it dry for a few minutes and then put your card together. You know, if you're worried that you're going to stick your hand in it like I am right now. But I'm not a very patient crafter. Okay, and then we just let that dry. And then I wanted to add a shiny nose, so Glossy Accents is great for that. It just makes his little nose glossy. Maybe we want to do the inside of his ears glossy too. I didn't do that last time, but it comes out a little milky looking, but it dries nice and clear. And then if you have teeny tiny little googly eyes, that would be cute too. And then of course we add this to our card base. This is a shaped card. Or you can take this whole thing and put it on your scrapbook page or something like that. That would be really cute. I'm going to go ahead and add some little sparkle to the center of these snowflakes in the background, just for added sparkle and shimmer. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this card. Oh, you know what? I forgot the sentiment. And that's why I didn't add, okay, blooper. That's what I forgot is the sentiment. I have a little stamp. I got this, I think maybe Robin bought this for me. I'm not sure. I know it comes from Michael's as well. Maybe Michael's or Joann's. I can't remember where we got this one, but I'm going to stamp it using the vintage sepia. So I went ahead and rubbed that, the stickles out, and I'm just going to add that there. There we go. Okay, so now I'm really done. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.